Now on WCNC Charlotte at 4, we start with some breaking news. We're learning 4 people were shot at the Eastridge Mall in Gastonia. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Carolyn Brook. This happening as the nation is on edge, seeing an outbreak of mass shootings. Shoppers who were at the mall, which is right off of I-85 and New Hope Road this afternoon, telling us that they heard the shots and people screaming. We've got some team coverage for you of this chaotic day for shoppers in Gastonia. WCNC Charlotte's Brianna Harper is hearing from people who were inside of the mall, but we're starting with WCNC Charlotte's Jane Monreal. Jane, first, what's the condition of the 4 people who were shot?
Carolyn, we know 3 of the 4 did suffer non-life-threatening injuries. While they are at the hospital, we do know that they will be okay. We just heard of this 4th person that has been identified that somehow made it to Charlotte after being shot. But what we do have here right now is a multi-agency response on scene at Eastridge Mall. They were here when shots rang out around 12:10. They just broke down the yellow tape in the last 15 or 20 minutes. So the scene out here is somewhat calming down right now. But earlier today, Gastonia Police Department said that they have 2 persons of interest that they're talking to at the police station. The police chief telling us earlier that the public is safe, but they do continue to investigate now inside the mall. They did have to evacuate the mall earlier. Police Chief Travis Britton said they got the call again just after noon from inside the mall by the food court near the DMV. As you can imagine, lunchtime on a Friday, it was busy. He said the response, though, was quick as the mall went into their public safety protocols right away.
Preparedness is what I've heard so far as the chief here with what the folks have done inside the mall. Like you mentioned, barricading themselves in and thinking about the recent incidents that happened across this nation. I couldn't be any more proud of the public safety. These folks behind me that are helping, they're the ones that came here immediately. When that call came out, no matter who you work for, you're coming to this location to help.
Again, we are learning that that 4th person somehow made it over to Charlotte. It was a male. In total, 3 males and 1 female. Their ages all unknown. Let me take that back. The 3 out of the 4, the initial 3, all adults. Now, as far as this investigation goes, it remains active. But again, out here in the parking lot, the scene outside of the food court and the mall itself is pretty much deemed done with. They are continuing their investigation inside the mall. So people who had their cars that they were trying to get them out of the lot, they can go ahead now and pick them up. As far as the suspects, or the persons of interest rather, we do know now that one is a 17-year-old, another a 23-year-old, both at the station. The motive remains unknown, or if the victims who were shot were targeted. For now, we're live in Gastonia. Jane Monreal, WCNC Charlotte. Carolyn?
Jane, thanks so much. And our team coverage continues with WCNC Charlotte's Brianna Harper. So Brianna, no doubt a terrifying ordeal for people who were at that mall when those shots were fired.
Yeah, as you can imagine, a terrifying scene for folks who were here inside the Eastridge Mall when those shots were first fired. We spoke to some witnesses who described seeing people crying and panicked, trying to get to safety. Now, as we mentioned, the scene here has cleared, but earlier it was filled with police cars, EMS crews, and we're told those first responders were some of the first people here on the scene when those shots were fired. If you take a look now, this is cell phone video a viewer shared with us from inside the mall. You can see first responders are treating someone on a stretcher. We believe that was one of the 4 victims who police say was hit by gunfire. Thankfully, we're told all those victims are expected to recover, but the terror for mall customers at the time of the shooting was still very real.
Shots, around shots, everybody is screaming, everybody around, everybody what happened, everybody crazy.
And as we mentioned, as this investigation continues, the mall here is closed. Officers are encouraging people to avoid the area if you can. Reporting live from Gastonia, Brianna Harper, WCNC, Charlotte.
Brianna, thanks so much. And of course, we will be following this very closely. You can get all the latest developments on the WCNC Charlotte mobile app.